They say life can change in an instant, and for millions that instant happens at home. A loved one collapses, you notice chest pain. Someone stops breathing. What would you do? Would you freeze, panic, or be ready? Most people aren't. More than 50% of medical emergencies happen in the home, yet less than 1 in 10 feel prepared. That's not just a number, it's a wake-up call. Because when every second counts, knowing what to do before help arrives could mean the difference between life and death. Emergencies don't wait for a convenient time. Heart attacks, strokes, choking, they don't give warnings. And if you think calling 999 or 911 is enough, think again. Ambulance response times vary, 7 to 15 minutes or longer depending on location. But brain damage from cardiac arrest can begin within just 4 minutes. Oxygen deprivation can turn fatal in under 10. So the first few moments, they're everything. Let's talk about how to turn your home into a place of readiness, not regret. It starts with the essentials, things every home should have, but many don't. First, a proper first aid kit. Not the dusty one with missing pieces buried in a drawer. A complete, up-to-date kit with bandages, sterile gauze, antiseptic wipes, disposable gloves, CPR face shield, tweezers, scissors, pain relievers, antihistamines for allergic reactions, thermometer, emergency blanket, and an updated list of medications and health conditions for everyone in your home. Because in a crisis, remembering details is hard, but having them written down could save a life. Second, an AED, an automated external defibrillator. Most people assume they're only in hospitals or airports, but having one at home can raise survival chances by up to 70% in cardiac arrest. When someone's unresponsive and not breathing, every second counts. CPR and an AED used within minutes can literally bring someone back to life. It's not just a device, it's a lifeline. But even the best tools are useless if you don't know how to use them. That's why every household should learn basic CPR and first aid. Before you say, "I don't have time," consider this. Learning CPR takes just 2 hours. About the same time as a movie night. Yet fewer than 20% of people are trained. So ask yourself, if someone collapsed in front of you today, could you help? Or would you stand there, paralyzed by fear? Because in a real emergency, you won't have time to think. You'll only have time to react. And your reaction depends on your preparation. But equipment and training aren't the whole story. There's something even more important. Your mindset. Panic is the enemy of action. We've all felt it. That rising anxiety, the racing thoughts, the frozen limbs. In a medical emergency, panic wastes precious seconds. Seconds that matter. So how do you train your brain to stay calm? With something called mental rehearsal, a proven technique used by soldiers, athletes, and emergency responders. It works like this. Close your eyes. Imagine a loved one collapses. You call out. They're unresponsive. You check for breathing. You call 999. You start CPR. You stay calm. That rehearsal wires your brain for action. So when the real thing happens, you're not caught off guard. Studies show people who mentally rehearse respond faster and more effectively. It's not theory, it's science. But emergencies don't always happen to others. What if it's you who collapses? What if you're the one who needs saving? That's why everyone in your home needs to be prepared. Have you ever sat down with your family and discussed what to do in an emergency? Most haven't. But communication is just as important as training. Create an emergency plan. Assign roles. Who calls emergency services? Who retrieves the first aid kit? Who meets the paramedics at the door? Yes, it might feel awkward, but when a real emergency strikes, you'll be glad you had the conversation. Even children can be part of the plan. Many young kids have saved lives simply because they were taught how to dial for help and speak clearly. Teach them your address. Show them how to unlock a phone. Walk them through different scenarios. And tonight, ask everyone in your home one question. If a medical emergency happened right now, what would you do? If there's hesitation, it's time for a plan. Now let's talk about something most people overlook. Your home environment. Even if you're trained and equipped, none of it matters if your space isn't ready. In a crisis, speed is critical. Walk through your home. Is the path to your front door clear? Can you easily access your emergency kit? Are your hallways clutter-free? Is your first aid kit in plain sight, not buried in a cupboard? Do you have emergency contacts and medical info displayed near the phone or on the fridge? These small things save time, and time saves lives. If you have elderly family members, consider simple upgrades. Grab bars in the bathroom, better lighting in hallways, non-slip mats. Many accidents start from small, preventable hazards. And here's something powerful. Build a support network. Talk to your neighbors, share emergency contacts, know who has medical training. Having a trusted circle nearby could be a lifeline if something goes wrong. A well-prepared home is not just stocked and trained, it's connected, aware, and ready. Now you might be thinking, isn't this a bit much? But here's the truth. Being prepared doesn't mean living in fear, it means living with peace of mind, knowing that you've done what you can to protect the people you love. Because when the unthinkable happens, your preparation becomes your power. So here's what I want you to do after this video. 1. Check your first aid kit, replace what's missing or expired. 2. Look into CPR training, online or in person. 3. Create an emergency plan with your household. 4. Practice mental rehearsal once a month. 5. Declutter your space for easier movement. 6. Make sure emergency info is clearly posted. 7. Talk to your neighbors. Build a support system. 8. Teach your children what to do. And if you're able, invest in an AED. It could save someone's life. If you've made it this far, thank you. Now think of the people you love most. Your parents, your spouse, your kids. Share this video with them. Start the conversation, because preparation isn't just about kits and CPR. It's about love, responsibility, and the courage to act when it matters most. Subscribe for more content that empowers you to protect yourself, your home, and your community. This isn't just about being ready for an emergency. It's about being the reason someone survives one.